Welcome to your weekly program, Balahdan, a show is an accent for those without one. Last week was Punish a Muslim Day. That was started campaign to punish a Muslim in England, and that probably a lot of people saw the flyer, and there is a points that you get from, I don't know what those points are, who gives the points, and what do you do with them. It's like a bingo. You get, if you punish a Muslim, you get 200 points. If you grab a hijab, 250 points. But the things I like, if you bomb and nuke Mecca, that's 1,000 points. This is the grand prize, bombing Mecca. But so anyway, obviously the people who have sense and moderate Islamophobe, they were angry about this, and they have Love a Muslim Day or a Hug a Muslim Day, and so it's a long way. Since 9/11, Muslim now probably are the new blacks, are the only groups now that you can insult them, you can demonizing them, and get away with it. You can even get a promotion under Trump's administration. This is interesting. Also, last week there was the fake election in Cairo, where Trump used the Russian hackers to win an election, they say, but General Sisi used Russian dancers to win an election. People were dancing in the front of the polling areas. The general was running uncontested by himself, and he still was afraid of nothing when people mark nothing. So the people who really mark nothing, or they rather to have nothing over Sisi, was 1.5 million. There is 1.5 million for sure in Egypt. They rather to have nothing than in a presidential office than Sisi. General Sisi, the head of forced virginity test during the revolution, now he is running the country, and Trump actually was the first president to send him congratulations for winning 97% of the votes, which obviously very few people want to vote. Anyway, so this is what's going on around here locally and internationally. Here in Minnesota, since the defeat of Hillary Clinton and win of Trump, the first white president in the White House, women really took the charge. We saw the woman march. Millions of people were marching against this racist, misogynist, and sexist president that had been accused of raping and talking and even having sexual relationship with porno and all of this. So women now going on so many levels, national level, local level, to go and restate their role in this country and play a bigger role in politics, which historically dominated by men. We have here another woman that she's trying to make her political mark in southern town here in Minnesota, Rochester. We have Regina Mustafa. She is Southern Director of Care, Outreach Director of Care, which, this is an advocate group of Muslim in this country. Welcome to the show, Regina.
Thank you so much for having me.
I know you've been out all night, and
yes.
You drove from Rochester to come here. So
yes.
This is a lot of work. Tell us, can you care enough to tell us what were you doing all night, last night? Is this something you can share with our audience?
Yeah, this is something I can share with your audience. Yeah,
okay.
I was privileged to do a ride-along with a member of the Rochester Police Department. Started at 8, out there till almost 2 in the morning. And it was an extremely educational experience to see everything inside, from the police car to the whole process of making an arrest and booking somebody into the holding facility there at the government center in downtown Rochester, and wonderful conversation with the officer as well.
Well, hold on a bit. I mean, a lot of people will try to avoid the police, for one thing. And now, tell us how that works. How did you arrange this? Why do you want to spend a night with the police?
I think basically for better understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I am running for the mayor of Rochester,
Oh,
and in the position of mayor, I would pretty much be the boss of the police chief. So I think it would be quite beneficial to form a better partnerships with the police. And also, I had a member from investigation from the Rochester Police Department at the mosque, the main mosque in downtown Rochester, conducting a security assessment for the building.
No.
Something we hadn't done, to my knowledge, in the building.
Has it been a threat or assault on
It
the
has
mosque?
not, but it's a preemptive measure
I
and
see.
safety measure to make sure that the facility, the building, and our members are organized in the event of, let's say, vandalism to, God forbid, an active shooter. So we have everything in place, contact information, who do you contact, and all that. So after that meeting, he suggested that I do a ride along. He invited me, and I took him up on it right
Good
away.
ideas, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
nice.
It was amazing. I mean, I already have a tremendous amount of respect for people in uniform, but after being in there and seeing what a typical night is like for them, I gained an even better understanding and appreciation.
I was with a Saudi businessman who was coming to Twin City to invest millions of dollars. And he wanted to see the mayor of Minneapolis. And the first question he asked, what do mayors do? So I'm asking the question, what do mayors do besides? You can fire the chief police, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. We are going somewhere. That's the very things, executive order, fire the police chief.
Well, it's interesting because we're getting a new police chief at the end of the month.
Couldn't wait.
No, the current police chief is retiring.
Okay.
And the current mayor of Rochester, he's not running again.
Okay.
But he's still in there,
And this
so
is
he
an
makes the decision.
elected position.
Yes.
A lot of we were saying about all the things that a mayor do, what is job? What biggest challenge are you facing, or Rochester is facing these days? That you're running, you think you're going to do a good, better job?
Well, my campaign platform really is based around 3 pillars. Transit, expanding the public transportation system, affordable housing, which is a crisis not only in Rochester but throughout the state, throughout the country, and livable wage. So that's really my platform, and I think all the pieces can interlock. And although it's a nonpartisan race in Rochester, unlike the Twin Cities, so it's neither a Republican or Democrat. But
You see, you don't have to be endorsed by a
no,
party?
I don't have to be endorsed. Isn't that nice?
Really? That's very nice.
It is. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, this entire issue of the Democrats, education, shut up. We have serious issues.
I don't have to deal with either party,
Yeah.
so it is one less thing I have to worry about.
Exactly.
But as it stands right now, it is a weak mayoral system. There's more power in the city council. I do hope to change that if elected.
What
I
do
would
you
like
mean
to
a
take.
week? I mean a week, I see.
Yeah, there's more. So it's really the city council who decides and push forward its policies, but the mayor does have veto
I see.
power.
Well, it's like the Congress and the
Kind of,
president.
yeah, but then
Can.
the city council with a supermajority can override a mayor's veto.
I see.
Right.
With 2/3 of the Congress come. But anyway,
Yeah.
So what? You don't have any political packages. It's something from a party. You have to adhere to those entire issue of the Democrats.
Right.
And so you have your own issues. You thought transportation is a big issue. What else is there?
The livable wage
Living wage. I mean, you have Mayo Clinic. What else is
and the affordable housing. So with the Destination Medical Center in Rochester, there is a great concern that is the presence of the DMC causing the affordable housing crisis, driving up the prices of rent and the prices of homes.
chasing poor people out of areas.
Right, there is this concern. I mean, I think the Destination Medical Center is a fabulous opportunity for Rochester, but as mayor, I think it's vital to have somebody in there who is looking at the whole situation and ensuring that no one's being left behind.
Okay.
That the benefits of DMC are not just for a select few,
And the
but for everybody.
Third pillar, we have 2 now.
Yeah, the transit,
You're not
affordable.
going with the 5 pillar, please. That will not work very well.
No, that would not.
3 is enough.
No, 3 is enough.
Yeah,
Not doing
very
the 5
good.
pillars.
Stay away from this. 5 pillars not going anywhere.
No,
Okay. So what's the third one?
the transit, affordable housing, livable wage.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I know I'm not trying to belittle this and put the light on this. I know it's a huge challenge to run for a position like that, but there is 4 issue going against you.
The gun issue?
Against you.
Against me.
A woman, a
Yeah.
Muslim,
Yeah.
What was the third one?
I'm legally blind.
I'm legally blind. What does that mean? A lot of people I know, as opposed
Yeah.
to illegally blind. What's illegally blind? I'm not illegally blind.
I don't know. I hope I never become illegally blind. That doesn't sound
No,
too
I
good.
mean the thing is that
So
a lot
basically,
of
you have
people
people-
can see, but they don't have insight. So illegally blind, you may not have a problem seeing, but
Well, a
you
lot-
have an insight.
Right. Well, I get the question a lot. A lot of people are not quite sure about what
Yeah.
legal blindness is. So you have people who are completely blind, and the way that let's say the government considers people in terms of disabilities, you have another category that's legal blindness, where you're not completely blind, but you can't function as a sighted person. Basically, no lenses or contacts or let's say a laser corrective surgery can cure your
I see.
eyesight. So you are, in terms of let's say benefits from the state or benefits in
I
terms of
see.
Social Security, you have the term of legal blindness, but you are considered with the blindness category.
So I thought that might be an issue, that you be a fourth pillar, the disability, whatever, they are ignored. I mean, they are, considered minority. They have,
Yeah.
rights and need to be protected. But how would that help you, or did not, challenge you in your political life in general and your political? I mean, you have to really prepare yourself. I've seen you sometime. You have to have a special glasses.
Yes.
You can see
Yes.
opponents. You can see a presentation. So how that? It's another challenge.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's definitely a challenge. I've been legally blind now for over 16 years. I haven't driven a car in 16 years, and raising 2 young children while being legally blind certainly is a challenge. You learn to accommodate. It definitely makes you realize what you take for granted. And I do appreciate the vision that I do have, because there are people who are completely blind or with other disabilities that are way more immobile than I am. But I like to turn the challenge, as you said, a female Muslim and a person with a disability, I would like to consider them as assets. We need diverse voices at the table when we're making decisions, especially with a city like Rochester, which expects so much change and so much growth in the coming years. People of minorities, women, and people with disabilities are often not at the decision-making table. So here I have an opportunity to bring these 3 facets to the decision-making.
You bring
person.
a lot of things on the table. As a woman, as a Muslim, as a disability, as a different background.
Yes.
But the thing is, Mayo Clinic is the biggest employer in Rochester.
Yes,
Am I
it is.
correct?
Yes.
So it's the biggest attraction. It's not just, and bring a small town of 120 whatever
Yeah.
to international.
It is
King
quite.
Hassan and King whatever, all these kings.
The
they
Dalai
come-
Lama.
Dalai Lama. They take half the town, and they spend all this time and millions of dollars. But so there's an issue there. I was talking to you before the show. When I was living in Egypt. There was like in the 80s, whatever, in the 70s, Egypt economy was taken over by this Gulf-rich people coming and tourism, and also they suck out the service out of restaurants, hotels, and good hospitals. And if you go to any hospital, you find out the good doctor, good service going to this sheikh or this rich whatever, and the poor people will just die. And so we left Egypt, and I came here, and everybody say, let's go to, when you have an issue, go to Mayo Clinic. So you go there, you find also it's taken over by a lot of rich Arabs, they go there. So why the rich always, no matter where we go, they are the one who's winning,
I wouldn't say that.
making decision.
When you walk around downtown, yes, you see, it's quite interesting and fascinating. You definitely see people from all over the world, and including these wealthy Gulf Arab countries. I wouldn't say that they're taking over.
Well, relatively, I'm
Mayo.
just exaggerating.
I mean, we receive our health care from the Mayo Clinic, and I certainly don't think a rich Gulf person is, stealing.
Arabs. But it's not just rich Arab, rich people around the world that they come to, they seek out Mayo Clinic.
Yeah.
But, there was something in the news about one of their board trustees resigned. So what's going on there?
Yeah, that came to light to me just a week or so ago. First, I heard that he was the ex-CEO of Best Buy. And then it was just a couple days ago where I learned that he was also on the board of trustees of Mayo. And so as
And
the
General Mills and those people, they make
And NPR.
millions,
Yeah.
from the marketplace to public,
right.
broadcasting. I mean, they get it all.
Right. So when I learned that he was also on the board of trustees for the Mayo Clinic and as a leader in Rochester and also serving as the Southern Minnesota Outreach Director for the Council on American Islamic Relations in Minnesota, CARE, I called Mayo
Why not?
and I tried to get all the way up to the top. But they bumped me over to public relations, which was
course.
fine. And I explained to them who I am and why I was calling. And I expressed my deep concerns about the situation. And then I hear today that he stepped down. And I'll attribute that to my phone call.
Could you
So-
call? Could you call the White House? Make a call there, maybe.
Oh, that would be next.
This guy's steakhouse. You know, is this your first political?
No,
What?
I ran for Congress last fall.
Excuse me.
Congress, the first congressional district.
Oh,
in
really?
Southern Minnesota, yeah.
And
Well, on top of the death threat that I got,
oh,
the mobility issue was one of the major factors why I decided to step out of that race. Like I said, I'm legally blind, so I don't drive. The first congressional district goes from the Wisconsin border all the way to the South Dakota border, about 22 counties. And as the weeks went on in the election, it was extremely difficult for me to get around and be where I needed to go. A lot of the events were on weeknights where my kids have school the next morning. It wasn't working out. So, and it's a shame that if you have a
should have
mobility,
really.
if you have a mobility issue,
technology we have, and
well, if you have a mobility issue, it's like you don't stand a chance in a
see.
race such as that with such a large area.
Yeah.
So I took a step back and reassessed and realized, the core of my work and my community engagement has been in the city of Rochester. So I'm going to go for that. And the campaign is just fantastic. It's going well. I don't have the mobility issues like I did. There's Lyft and Uber
it's a
in
good
Rochester
start.
to help me out.
Last week we had the mayor of North Branch, your south. She's North, and she's a woman, of course, Miss Kennedy, and she's running for the congressman. She's doing the reverse.
Oh, is this for CD8?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah, it's good. So thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you.
Good
It
luck
was a
with
pleasure.
your presence. You're wonderful. I think you think your chances are
Oh, yeah.
really.
Oh, we're going to take this.
My goodness, I love that. Assalamu alaikum and God bless you all. Okay.